Hello, welcome to Authorpreneurs HQ. This is Janine Bolin, and as you know, I'm interviewing the best and the brightest for this Authorpreneurial Summit that's happening on September 14th and 15th. And with me today is Tina Kadish, and she is not going to be able to be one of our speakers, but I was like, can I still record you? Can I still record you? Because this is the woman that helps people go from their job to their joy. And she started off writing her books for a very different reason than what most people do. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. So if you don't mind, welcome to the show, Tina, and tell us a little bit about your story.
All right. Thank you, Janine, for having me here. And it's a pleasure to be here. And so for me, my journey began when I was laid off in the corporate world. I've been in training and development. My background has been in recruiting. And when I got laid off is when I realized for the first time that there was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, a lot of anger towards being laid off. But I got a taste of freedom when I got laid off. And I learned quickly that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so my book, Freedom: 7 Steps to Thrive in Life and Business, really came from that. How can I help other people find freedom in their life and business? So I created the 7 steps. And because I'm very passionate about freedom, so wholeheartedly, because all of us deserve to have freedom to be doing what we love to do every day and having that joy. So I do help women. I work primarily with women who want to leave their corporate jobs, but not everybody. I help women as well that want to find that career that is aligned with their goals, is aligned with their values, with their passions. And so, and helping them start a business if that's the direction they want. So this book, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah. So that's where she started. So you'll forgive me for cutting in
Go
because with
ahead,
the
please.
summit, this summit is all about authors and it's very similar. A lot of people don't understand being an authorpreneur. It's like your book is your business. And there's a lot of misconceptions still out there. So we were touching on a few, which is don't expect the big royalty check and don't expect, so talk to us a little bit about some of the fallacies of entrepreneurship that you kind of had to walk through knowingly. You were ahead of the curve on some of it, you said.
Yes, because I was, I've been told numerous times, I wrote the book really not only to share my story, but also it's a door opener. It's what I've learned for speaking opportunities. I love speaking. My goal is to be a professional speaker. And the book is a way to open the door for those speaking opportunities. I've always learned that you're not going to get rich on the books that you write. However, you're always marketing your books. You're always got to be out there marketing you're sharing your story, marketing your books, but you're not going to be rich on those books.
The profit margin, and this is business terms here, ladies and gentlemen, the profit margin on a book is so small. There's such a high expense ratio that you have to sell millions and millions of copies in order to make the royalty checks that you hear about. And even then, you hope that you have negotiated very well with that particular publisher, even if you're self-published. It's not necessarily the game changer. But let's talk to our authors who they've just come off the Amazon bestseller list. They were told that that was what was necessary. I never went down that road because KDP wasn't even a twinkle in the eye of the self-publishing world when I became a self-published person at 2005. But we were talking about you where you were like, yeah, that was never my intent either. So somebody is lost to the bloom. The honeymoon is over. They have a book. It's an Amazon bestseller. They have no email list. Help us, Tina. What do we do?
Well, what I recommend that you do, and what's something that I've been doing, like I published my books through a publisher, got me on Amazon. And, yes, the profit margin is so low. I mean, Amazon, there's a percentage of what they get and what you get. Okay. So it's not high at all. However, for me, what I've done is I've done book signings. I've found local places to do the book signings. I've gone to women's groups. I've been out there doing more of that, like I said, marketing myself. I've also done monthly book discussions. I have an email list of all my book buyers that I know who has bought my book. I share people's reviews online on social media. When I get a review for my books, I share them. And then I put a link to my books. And that's how I've kept kept the little money getting people to buy my books. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, my intent was to really share my story, be credible, be an author, and know that Tina Kadish is now an author, sharing her stories for those opportunities when I'm out there at conferences, workshops, book signings, wherever I go, that I have my books to share.
Right. And they really are. And I use this term a lot, so they probably have heard this on multiple videos, but it's, it's a business card on steroids. And there is nothing better than to open the front cover of your book with that big fat marker, Sharpie that you always bring with you, and sign your name and say, how do you spell your first name? And signing that in the front cover of your book is very helpful as from a business standpoint. And the other thing that you bring to this, though, is the fact that you're living a successful life. Now, are you all that you want to be? Have you reached your ultimate potential? No, Tina has not. But Tina is living a successful life. She's hit these markers that were important. I wanted to share my story, wanted to write my book. So for those of you who may be struggling a little bit, please realize, reevaluate what success is. And so for you, Tina, what is success for you?
Success for me means when someone reads my stories and it's inspired them to make a change in their life, in their own life, that I've inspired them. There's been a change in their behavior. Something for them changed. It clicked. They took action on something. Because, my freedom book is really doing the inner work that is so necessary for when someone wants to make a career change. They want to find freedom and don't know how to achieve it. If I can give them some action steps, because my books are all about, journaling questions, asking them questions, action steps. It's not a book that you just, read and then put away on a shelf. Right. Okay. Because I want them to take action on what they're reading and implement.
And just to let you guys know, in the membership area is a downloadable that she gifted us. And I just wanted to let you know, she has the Successful Business Owners Checklist. She is big on you walking through these steps, people. So don't forget to download that. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your tool?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Yes. So my Business Owners Checklist is for those women or men that want to start a business and they have no direction, no clue whatsoever. So this checklist provides you, it's part of my 8-step process. And it begins with creating a vision for your business. What does that look like? What do you want to create? Okay. What's your value that you bring to the world? Who are your customers? And even, with your books, who's your customers reading your books? Who's your audience? Yep, 2 books exactly. That I have, 2 different audiences. So you have to really have a strategy in place, a marketing plan for your books is highly recommended. Like what's your strategy? Creating, something that I haven't done is a marketing funnel for my book.
Right. We have other people that will be talking about that. And I would love for you to share, and because of your vast knowledge at helping those who are just beginning, you're helping those people as they're transitioning. And that's why you're so valuable to us. Tell us, how can we get a hold of you when you're not here on the membership area?
Yes, thank you. So my website is www.fromjobtojoy.com. You can access some of my freebies. One of them is the checklist. And you'll also have access to more information about me. There's videos and blogs that you can learn more about me on my website.
And Tina is one of those wonderful people who was referred to me from multiple other podcasters. So I just wanted to let you know that this is our first experience together, and it's been a delight. Thank you so much for being on the show, Authorpreneurs HQ.
Thank you so much, Janine, for having me here.
And we will see you folks on September 14th and 15th, and hopefully at the summit. Take care now. Bye.